Hello and welcome to Big East Women's Basketball Rewind. I'm Chloe Marotta. I'm going to take you through what happened in conference play this week. We're of course going to start off with the UConn Huskies. Went 3-0 on the week. They're number one in the nation. They're number one in the Big East. They started off the week against Notre Dame. They put on a defensive clinic. They kept Notre Dame just 1 of 16 from the three-point line to completely taking away the perimeter. Sarah Strong led the way with 18 points and 11 rebounds, but UConn showed their balance by having all 5 starters in double figures. What really stood out was how UConn capitalized on mistakes. They had 20 points off of 15 Notre Dame turnovers. They also dominated inside, doubling Notre Dame's points in the paint, and had 19 points in transition, turning their defense into offense all day long. The second game of the week for UConn was against Georgetown, where they rolled past Georgetown 83-42. Sarah Strong was outstanding once again, 25 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, while AZ Fudd had 19 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. That double duo is just dominating in the Big East and nationwide. UConn finished their 3-0 week by dominating Seton Hall with a 92-52 victory. Once again, Sarah Strong, not a surprise, leading the team in points, rebounds, and assists. They shot an efficient 58% from the field and continued to separate itself from the pack. The Huskies remain the last undefeated team in the nation. Moving on to other teams in the league, Creighton took on Xavier earlier in the week. Creighton dominated 82-64 victory. Grace Bofelli leading the way for Creighton with a massive double-double, 18 points and 15 rebounds. Even though Creighton did not shoot it very well, they controlled the game with 18 offensive rebounds, creating extra possessions for their team. Defensively, the Blue Jays capitalized on mistakes, scoring 17 points off of Xavier's turnovers. Seton Hall pulled away from Providence with a 73-57 victory. They had 4 players in double figures. Savannah Catalan led the Pirates with 19 points. Seton Hall was aggressive getting to the line. They went 17 of 20 from the free throw line and set the tone defensively with 13 steals, forcing 21 turnovers for Providence. A great win for the Pirates. A strong week for Marquette Golden Eagles. They went 2-0, starting off the week against St. John's. This was a rematch for Marquette, and they closed it off within the last 23 seconds of the game. It was back and forth the entire time, really comparable in all the statistical categories. But 23 seconds left, Marquette was up by 1, and they defended. They protected the paint. They ended with a block from Skylar Forbes, and then a race for a loose ball to seal it with Hallie Weiss. And then the game was over from there. It was a full team effort, but the difference came in points off turnovers, with Marquette scoring 20 compared to St. John's 8. Marquette then went out to Hinkle Fieldhouse to play Butler. This was also a tight game, but Hallie Weiss was the separator, having 23 points, and Jana Mason added 16 of her own. Marquette built a 15-point lead, but Butler continued to fight back. They made it a 2-possession game with just minutes left, but the Golden Eagles stayed composed and knocked down free throws to seal the win. However, Butler did pick up a solid win this week, beating DePaul 73-67. Sanaya Jackson led the way with 22 points and 10 rebounds, while Kennedy Langham brought great energy off the bench with 16 points. DePaul responded nicely with a big-time win over Creighton, 76-61. Kate Novick led the way with 17-point, 10-rebound double-double, and also added 5 assists on the day. DePaul controlled the glass with 15 offensive rebounds and won the battle in the paint. They also moved the ball well with 19 assists on the game. Georgetown earned a 65-52 win over Xavier, just doing what Georgetown does, playing the Georgetown way, which comes a lot with how they defend. They forced 17 steals, leading to 28 points. But Brianna Scott, a huge night for her, 21 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists, while Kaya Miller continued her ways. She had 17 points on the day as well. Great win for the Georgetown boys. After a loss at home versus Marquette, St. John's needed to respond, and they faced Villanova, a great team in the Big East, who earlier in the conference gave them a ton of trouble, but not this time. In the first quarter, St. John's came out firing. They held a prolific Villanova offense to just 5 points in the first quarter and kept them scoreless for nearly 8 minutes. It was a 22-5 lead, and from then on out, it was the St. John's game. Brooke Moore was outstanding with 20 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists, doing her damage only inside the arc. That's a wrap for your Big East Women's Basketball Rewind. I will see you next week for more.